to get us back in this game. Milosevic, as ever, bagging the goals in.
Oh, yeah!
Hello and welcome back to another episode as part of Mattov's English Journey, and welcome back to Leicester City, where in today's episode we have got the transfers for the summer, our 9th season I believe of this career. It's our third full season actually with Leicester now, and we're going to be showing you the transfers today, and then we're going to be playing Aston Villa away from home, which is a very, very convenient game off the back of what happened at the end of last season, playing them twice, losing out in the FA Cup, then getting our revenge to qualify for the Champions League, where you can see we are at the moment, and we got there by beating them on the final day of the season. So it's straight to the transfer history where we will go. It's been a very, very a big summer. There's been a lot of transfer activity. I think we'll start on this right side, taking a look at players who've left the club. Notable players who have left. First of all, Tanganga has left the club. He's gone to Trabzonspor on a free transfer. 33 years of age. He's probably slowing down a little bit in his career at this age, and he was a good servant for us, so a good signing to let him go. Nathan Patterson left for a fee of around 62 million pounds. This is a good deal. He didn't want to re-sign with us. 30 years of age, we could get someone younger in, which we have, and to replace him in this way, get a lot of money for him. Very, very good deal in my opinion. And also, we got a lot of the transfer. A lot more cut. We got like 90% from these transfers, so we managed to increase that. Very, very useful. Chadi Riyad, the next player to leave, 29 years of age. I think this is a good transfer for him. His ability is maybe not as good as it once was. For how much did we sell him for? We sold him for 27 million euros over to Juventus. Good deal for both clubs involved. Abder Vinicius leaving, 32 years of age now, getting 12 million for him. Bit injury prone for us at times, and he helped us with the depth a lot, but for 12 million we could not turn that down. And finally, the last transfer out, Januel Belosian, he has left the club. This one probably a bit more of a risky decision, you'd argue. Probably, I mean, he was here for a few years. I really trusted in him, gave him loads of games. As you can see, 86 games. He did sign on a permanent transfer for 2.8 million. No way, it was 2.8 million. I didn't make that signing actually. It was already pre-planned when I came here. 2.8 million and then within two years we turn him over for 38 million. That is a good bit of business. He didn't want to re-sign with us. His contract's offer or requests were just not good at all, so we didn't want to re-sign with him. For that much money though, that is a really good deal, to be honest. He wanted the clubs were coming in for him at the start of in January, I should say. So we would wait until the start of summer, let him see the season out. So we also wanted to use him because he's very, very crucial for us. And now he has gone and left for a really, really good deal in the end. So the transfers we've made, 4 transfers in the summer. It's not been a hugely big summer in terms of getting loads of players in. We have tried to improve the squad in certain areas. The depth is lacking, and it's a real shame, to be honest. I wish I could do a bit more with the depth. I'm not very good at signing in depth, but I am getting better with some of these transfers. The first player in, Mickey van de Ven, £55 million spent on him. I think that is a real bargain. 31 years of age. He is a real elite centre back. He's been starting in that Tottenham team for many years now. He is an elite player, and Tottenham didn't do very well last year, and he's come and joined us, and that's probably why, because he wanted to go on and to play with a club who are in the Champions League. But I think this is a really, really good signing. He can still have the room to improve, gives us that experience. He can play left back, just as capable as he can play centre back. He's had a really good pre-season. This is definitely a good signing in my opinion, and we can move him on after for around a similar price. In my opinion, next signing, we brought in Luke Stanley. The scouts were a big fan of this player. He's a bit more of a defensive-minded wing back. We want to play him attacking, but he can play the defensive role much better. But I think he's got some good ability for the attacking role. He's super fast, got some really good physical ability. Some of his technicals are good as well, and his mentals also good too. He's been at Crystal Palace for many years now. I think it could be a good sign. There was players I was looking at, and the scouts were very happy with Stanley here. So if he wants to come in and put in a good shift there, then hopefully he can make up for the £55 million we spent. The board did want us to spend all the money, and once again we are net we're net plus we are net plus on transfer spend. So we've made, what's that, 17 million profit. So yeah, that's another season. So we've just gone out and spent the money really. Two key players here. I wish I could have distributed it a little bit better because, as I say, the depth is not looking very good at the moment. But we do have a very elite starting lineup at the moment, which is going to be very useful for us. Next player we bought in Celso, spent 9 million pounds on him. 24 years old, quite developed already. Can slot straight into that midfield if we need him to. Some really good attributes already. He's played for Corinthians, I believe that is. He's a good player, good squad player for us. We really need to bring in some players for depth, and if we can bring someone like this in, good determination, and will give us a lot of fight in this club, and he's agreed to be a squad player. So when he comes in, I'm sure we'll get some good games out of him. And the final transfer for now is a loan. We've brought in Andrea. Been looking at this guy for a while. The scouts are quite a big fan of him. Helps us in depth at left back, and we also have the option, I believe, to make him permanent at the end of 57 million euros. He does still have room to develop, as you can see there, and he's got some good attributes, but I need to see a little bit more from him if we were to sign him permanently, because the scouts are quite happy with him. But I need to see him myself, and he will help us in that depth at left back. And then one final transfer, hopefully this guy can come through, Samuel Ritchie. He is a midfielder who can play a little bit deeper. This is the only thing we don't get with Celso, is the fact that he can only play in this advanced role. He can't really play behind that, and we need a little player there to cover Lavia. If I go back to the transfers, to cover Lavia, we need a player there, and he's going to come in and hopefully be that player. He's bringing us lots of experience. Overall, looks like a decent player, and yeah, hopefully he can come and join us. That's what we're getting with a lot of these new players. There was also a lot more players I wanted to sign, to be honest. I mean, players have rejected the club, which is a shame really, because there was some I was really looking forward to bringing in. But luckily, like Van de Ven, I think this is going to be a really good signing. I know he's 31 years of age, but he's given us a lot of experience, which is going to be very useful. And same with Richie as well. Really good to have a lot of experience in this team. I think it's needed, because we've signed a lot of young South American wonder kids. We definitely need a little bit of experience behind us. In terms of what the squad's looking like at the moment, not in its best shape in terms of the depth. Overall, I think we've got a really good team. I'm going to try Milosevic up front and Cusqueta on the right. If they need swapping back, then they can do, but I always want to play Cusqueta off the left, off his left foot, where I feel like he can play really well there. So it's been a very interesting summer. Hopefully we can bring a few more players in on the bench. I think we might need one more midfielder, possibly another attacker. I was looking at a right winger in this summer. They weren't going to come in because of the amount of money we spent on other players, and we have spent a lot of money, no doubt about it. But if we can strengthen the squad little by little, season on season, then we're going to keep improving. And this season, I think defensive changes have been quite important for us. I don't know what we did last year. How did we do? So we conceded 43 goals. That's not really too bad, to be honest. Take a look at the award. I don't know how if we got into the Golden Glove suggestion at all. Yeah, so not even top three, to be honest. If we can secure that defense, then maybe we could be on for a bit of a better season in terms of the league, different things like that. We do have a really solid defense now with two of these new boys coming in, and obviously Sergio and Marcelo Jr., who were here already. So it's going to be a very interesting season, as I say. Hopefully we can bring in a few more players in depth, because I do see how big of an issue it is. I wish I'd have distributed that money a little bit more, but I did say before I'm quite tight with the money, so I have gone and spent it. The board want me to spend it. I have gone and spent it as best as possible, and hopefully it's going to pay off in the end, especially in the defense, and maybe we won't have to worry about it after all. We're going to show that in this game against Aston Villa. Maybe the issues I'm thinking about are really not that present. So let's go and play this first game of the season against Aston Villa. So the team for this game against Aston Villa starts with Lebrovic in goal with our backline of Sergio, Van de Ven, Marcelo Jr. and Stanley. Lavia, Meslic, Lutonia in the midfield. We've got Morales on the left, Paz on the right and Milosevic up top. Kick off here in this game against Aston Villa. It's going to be a very interesting season, especially with all the changes we've made. I was quite kind of interested in moving on a few players and seeing what we can do with the money. Hopefully distributing it in defence is going to help us a little bit. Maybe some attacking changes need to come up, and if we can do that next year, then maybe we will finally make a really elite team. I think our starting 11 honestly is really good. We've got an amazing defence now. I think our midfield is really good, and when the attack can get nailed on, you'd argue we have one of the best teams in the whole league, to be honest. We just need to show it with some results on the pitch, and also the depth is gonna be an issue, but we have signed a few players. I think there's a few more we could possibly bring in. Using a mix of the young players, then I think we should be good to go. We only get 5 substitutes obviously, but it's also thinking about when injuries come up, which they will inevitably come up. We need to consider that. Milosevic is through on goal here. Will he put it away? He's hit the outside of the post. So unlucky from him. We had quite a few pre-season games. We were going to play like 10 pre-season games if I didn't cancel some. Luckily we didn't. Milosevic, as ever, having a great pre-season, not changed his number, not giving him the pressure of the number 9, because the number 20 he got when he came to the club has been working wonders for him. Hopefully it can continue to in this season as he plays the ball through to Morales there. Morales is bursted into the box and it's forced to save from the Aston Villa goalkeeper there. It's some good stuff initially from us, but yeah, I think we do have a really good team on the pitch. Injuries are going to come up and that's why we need the depth, but once when that does come through, we have really strong depth. I think we do in the attack. I think it's just defense and the midfield where we do need some proper elite depth if we want to challenge for some titles, And I think we can get a title in this season because of this really good team that we do have on the pitch. Like this team here at the moment is, apart from I'd probably say Paz, because I really want to play Cusqueta on that right side, but he has just returned from the Olympic Games. Apart from that, I think we've got a really good team, and hopefully it can pay off for us in this season and the depth doesn't let us down in the end, because that would be really disappointing, to be honest. Aston Villa get the opening goal of this game. I think it might be disallowed though, because that player was well offside within 30 minutes. It's been a pretty mixed game, to be honest, but their arms are in the air and this goal is going to be given. Poor goal to concede early on, and can we come back from this in the rest of this game? 50 minutes gone. In this game, it's Aston Villa once again who find themselves on the ball. They're advancing with it, knocking it around. It's a through ball and Van de Ven is going to have his first chance to put on a bit of a defensive display. He does nothing in the end, to be honest, and maybe that 55 million we spent on him is not working very well at the moment. They'll have a chance from this corner and we need his presence as well. He's got a really good overall game, and at 31 years of age, spending 55 million on him is risky, but if you've got a player of that ability, I feel like 55 million, to be honest, is a bit of a steal. Maybe it is because of his age and how people consider it, but I think that is a really good deal, to be honest. Sergio has played Milosevic through, and what a goal that is, straight from the free kick. That is a lovely set piece routine to get us back in this game. Milosevic, as ever, bagging the goals in, and that is a lovely finish from our striker to make it 1-1, and a few changes going to come up shortly for us probably. I think it might be time to bring on Andrea shortly. I think we'll bring him on there, give Celso some minutes as well. I think Letournier is probably the obvious change there, because he can play in that role as the Mazzala. Give them minutes, 30 minutes in this game. It will be good for Celso to get out, because we really need to find a goal in this game, and if he can be the one to do that, then that would be nice, and they can demonstrate themselves off the bench. I think we've got good quality in the bench. We just don't have much of it, to be honest, and that's where it will let us down a bit probably. But we still do have a bit of the summer. Still have 20 million in the bank. Maybe that will be spent probably. It's so hard to find players for decent players for cheap prices. Honestly, the market is so crazy, and it's really tough to negotiate at times. And when we had a few players on contract proposals and they didn't join us, that was a little bit annoying. But there's nothing really too much you can do about that. Opening day of the season, away against Aston Villa. The boys are all settling in, and we take away a point. Decent result to start off this season. So once again, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy that video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll leave with this little tune, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.